Legislative Boogie.
All right, here we are, middle of the week, hump day. Little Humpty Hump music there to get us in the mood. It's all downhill from here.
Sounds good.
It sounds good. All right, our guest today is Mike Whitlock, who is the Executive Vice President of the American Surety Company. And this particular company manages surety bail in 46 states. It's a privately held company. They've got over 100 years of working in the bail bond insurance industry. It's a huge company. It's been around a long time. Got a best rating of A+. And for those of you out there, that's a good rating. That's really, really good. And so it's a great company. It's out of Indianapolis, Indiana.
We're based in Indianapolis. That's
yeah.
Right.
So yeah. So anyway, so who is Mike Whitlock?
Well, Mike Whitlock's a lifer in the bail bond industry. It's been 30 years just here recently. Second generation. My dad was in the retail end of bail, and then he was a general agent, and then eventually bought an insurance company with his partner Bill Carmichael, and he's since retired, and now I've become a partner with PJ Longstreth and Bill Carmichael, and we're enjoying the bail bond business.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Now let everybody else know you're married. You've got 3 daughters and a son.
I'm married, and got a son at Western Kentucky, and the Hilltoppers, and I've got 3 daughters that are still in school.
Are they in high school or still in college?
I've got one in grade school, one in middle school, and one a senior in high school.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good.
So we spaced them out pretty good.
That's excellent.
Yep.
You were almost outnumbered. Where does your son fit in that range?
He's the oldest.
Well, he's the oldest.
Yeah,
Okay.
Matter of fact, he turns 20 next month. That's Nathan, and my daughters are Sarah, Stephanie, and Samantha, and my wife Marcia. And a shout out to them if they're listening.
Well, there you go. There you go. Well, you guys are still outnumbered.
We are outnumbered, but I like the odds. I'm still taller than all of them.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. No, that's cool. That's cool. So you've been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 30 years. I started out in retail in 1981, really right out of high school. Did that for a couple of years before I started in on the insurance side, or the wholesale side, you might call it, and did that for a couple of years. My early years I spent in Dallas, and then moved up to Indianapolis, where began working and worked for my dad for about 20 of those 30 years. And enjoyed that. It's sometimes that's a bad experience. Sometimes it's a good experience. For me, it was an excellent experience, working with him every day and learning from him. And it was a great experience. A lot of memories there. And he's now happily retired. And there is life after bail.
That's a good thing.
There is a good thing.
That is a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, you're the exception of the rule, though, because sometimes when family come together and they both work together, sometimes that doesn't work.
Well, it doesn't always work, and I'm not saying that there wasn't some excited moments along the way. I mean,
as one learns.
Well, the parent can tend to be harder on the son that they're working, just to make sure that it's not seen as being too soft. And so actually you have to work a little bit harder and take a lot more heat sometimes because you're the son of the boss.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's all right.
Well, when I was looking at your website, I mean, it was pretty, the history there and everything. There was a good write-up, by the way, and people can find a lot of stuff there about bail. Mm-hmm. And bail's just one part of the property and casualty side. It's surety.
Yes.
Just so that people understand that. There's lots of different lines of insurance, and basically you can break it down into the property and casualty and A&H and then other specialty things, but that's the way it is. But we fit this particular kind of insurance fits in the property and casualty side.
That's correct.
Which means you're going to have to go ahead with your insurance company and with the products that you have to offer. You're going to end up having to do this 50 different ways because there's the 50 states get to decide how they're going to manage insurance. That only means you're into 46, so you just have to worry about 46 states. But that certainly would prove to be a challenge at times.
Well, it's a challenge at times, but there's regulatory requirements that you have to meet, and in the bail industry, which we specialize in, is commercial bail. Every state has their different laws and regulations, so you have to understand how to operate in those states. And one state gives you 6 months to get your guy back to court if he fails to appear, and another state gives you 30 days to get him back. And you just have to know what the rules are, and it's easy to operate that way if you know what the rules are. It's when you don't know what the rules are that it becomes difficult. But knowing what the rules are makes life easier, and you underwrite your bond and your risk in a defendant you get out of jail is basically you establish what the risk of flight is for that individual, and you secure the bond accordingly. Some individuals are first-time offenders, they're employed, they're part of the community, their family's all from the community, and they're low risk flight. Other people that get arrested, it might be their second or third DWI, or it's their third time arrest for a drug possession or distribution, and they might be looking at some jail time, and you have to start collateralizing your bond based on the risk of flight, because that individual may say, I don't want to do 3 years. I don't want to do 5 years. So, I might decide not to show up to court. And part of the process, of course, is getting individuals, third parties, moms and dads or employers or friends, they're willing to stand up and say, I'll vouch for this person. I'll make sure he goes to court, and I'll give him my financial backing. And sometimes that's just a signature on a promissory note, and sometimes it's signing a collateral mortgage against your property, and if the bond's large enough. And so if the individual doesn't show up to court, then the bail agent's calling the defendant. Where are you? If you can't find the defendant, you're calling the person that guaranteed his appearance and say, hey, we're both on the hook here if we can't locate Johnny and bring him back to court to get a new court date, or perhaps even put him back in jail. And if we can't find him, then we're going to have to pay this bond, and the bond may be $10,000. We don't want to pay $10,000. The family member doesn't want to pay $10,000.
Yeah.
And more often than not, they're going to try to cooperate with you and give you some information of where this person might typically hang out, or if he's got an aunt or an uncle in 3 states over, or give you some information to locate him. And, occasionally you'll get a mom or dad. It seems like it's usually the mom or the dad that say, you know what, I don't want Johnny to go to jail either, so you're just going to have to find him on your own, and, take my house, take whatever you want, but I'm not going to help you find little Johnny, because I'd rather visit him, in a hotel in Topeka, Kansas, than at the state prison. And so you run into that occasionally, and that makes it a little bit more difficult. So the the whole concept of bail, as I see it, is not just getting the defendant out and he's on his own, is to bringing other individuals into the transaction, as the people I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So you have people that are with him every day. A bail agent's not with him every day. They might say, call in on every Tuesday, let me know where you're at, that you're still in town, or call me after your court date. Let me know what happened in court, what's your next court date. But family members are there every day, or they're staying with them. And so when they see something kind of strange, like, he quit his job, or he's getting a U-Haul backed up to the garage, or he's buying bus tickets, then they're going to be inclined to call the bail agent and say, hey, I think little Johnny's going to, he's going to skip town. I don't want to pay this bond, so come get him. And so they're eyes and ears, and they have a vested financial investment there to make sure he goes to court.
Okay. We got to take another break, and that's a good stopping point there, and a great explanation of the whole process. So you're in the lobby with the Lobbying Pro. This is WKRPradio.com and NFNradio.com networks. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back.